some of the kids, really, you don't want to get out of bed. They need you to get up and walk, and you don't want to go. You just don't feel like it, right? But you know what? Flip is at the library. Flip is an awesome golden retriever. But if you'll get up and go, guess what? Flip will be there to see you.
Welcome to City on a Hill. I am Whitney Mendoza, your host, and this is this inaugural podcast. This is not our inaugural podcast. We have done many things together before, but this is special to me because it is a new podcast, some new topics for me, but this is a special first podcast because we're highlighting Angie Rehkop and Golf for the Kids, which I'm going to let her because you explain it beautifully. But this is a charity event and it is helping children, and that is why this is so special. And dogs are involved.
Yes.
Which makes it even more
better.
Beautiful. Yes, it does. So Angie, welcome back.
Thank you.
To our conversation. So tell our listeners a little bit about you and what you do, and then I have lots of questions for you on this event.
Hello, I'm Angie Rehkop with Financial Care Providers. I'm a comprehensive financial advisor, and I've had a practice here in Atlanta for the last 29 years. I work with individuals and small businesses, and I'm out with the public. I'm out networking an awful lot. And the two things that I love are children and dogs. Keep in mind.
Do you love dogs, Angie? Because we know you have 2 cats.
I love dogs, and I actually have Sphinx cats, which are the dogs of the feline world. Sphinx, okay, it's a hairless cat. I understand. Number one is it does take more than 15 minutes to get used to seeing a cat without hair, right?
I wish we had a picture because they're quite interesting.
They are so much fun, but they are a cross between a dog, a child, and a monkey. And the two every day are full of spunk and mischief. I love them very much. But I love animals all across the board, and that is just the best pet for me right now. I've had several dogs in the past. But I got invited to go out and work with these kids that needed some help. It was a volunteer event. I went to the Chastain Horse Park to volunteer and take kids riding. And really fell in love and recognized that we needed to do some fundraising to support some recreational activities for the kids. What started as a one-time event, they were like, oh, you could do a golf tournament. And at the time, I had just started playing golf. Keep in mind, at that point, I was only playing executive courses. I didn't even play a full-size course. So I was like, no, I can't do that. There's no way. I don't know anything about that world. I can't do it. And usually when you say no, it feels bad, but you get over it. I didn't. And the feeling bad just kept hanging. And as I got further into golf and met some people, different people stepped up and said, I just kept mentioning it. They're like, if you'll do it, I'll help. If you'll do it, I'll help. So I did one event, really. It had 6 foursomes. I raised $8,000, and I was done. Until somebody said, if you'll do this again next year, I'll do more. So by year 2 or 3, I made an amazing friend of Mark McKenzie. And Mark McKenzie of DocuMax Digital Printing. Mark said, wow, are you doing this by yourself? And I said, yes, I am. And he said, that is crazy. I said,
yes, it is.
I had definitely bitten off more than what I could chew. And Mark said, can I join you? I was like, oh my God, is this a special person? He says, we need an advisory board. I'm like, God, yes, I do. And so with that, I had done 2 or 3 events. And Mark McKenzie joined in, and since then, Mark and I have been like this. There's actually reason to believe that we might be kissing cousins. Our grandparents were raised in the same small town called Neodesha, Kansas. So Mark and I believe that we may actually be related. But we have been family since day one. And at this event, seriously, he could not have done this without me, and I most certainly could not have done this without him.
So how many this year's event takes place on October 24th.
Yes, it does.
What year is this that you have been doing this event?
This will be our 16th annual event.
16th.
Yes.
And so you and Mark have been together essentially for
At least about 14 years.
Okay, wow. So I want to go back to, because to do this for 16 years, I want to go back to that feeling that you had when you were like, okay, no, I don't really think I could do this, but it kept gnawing at you.
Yeah.
So walk us through that. You did the charity event, and then someone, where did it branch off from? Was it horseback riding?
Yeah, I was just volunteering at a horseback riding event.
And so where did it, how'd they loop you in from horseback riding to golf?
No, different people were there. We were talking about just hobbies, and I was learning to play golf. Learning.
Yeah.
And as I said, I didn't play full-size courses yet. I was just learning. And they said, well, you're golfing. Because I was just kind of into it. I was trying to play a lot and trying to get where I could actually participate in the game and play full rounds. And so that's what we have visited about. And they were like, oh, yeah, well, you're doing that. Do a golf tournament, because that's always, a great fundraiser. I had never been to one.
Yeah.
So I just said, because I knew absolutely nothing about it. And now, 16 years later, people come to me and call me throughout the year and say, you are the blah, blah. This country club said, that country club said, talk to Angie. Because, Mark and I both have learned a lot of lessons being in this. And don't get me wrong, every year something new comes up. There is a new challenge. And one of the greatest things that has formed out of Golf for the Kids is our advisory board, which is really an extended family. I could not do this every year from scratch. Our advisory board, the volunteers, the people with various jobs that have kept their jobs for all these years. I have got volunteers that have been there all 16 years.
Wow.
I've got people that know what they're doing way better than I know what they're doing out there on the course. We have a really committed group of sponsors that stick with us, that we're always trying to expand and grow sponsorship. In the Atlanta market, that is very difficult. A lot of larger companies that could be good sponsors for us already have their own relationship with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Children's Healthcare has done a great job, right? So they already have a relationship with Children's. They may not want to come through us. So we are looking for sponsorships in order to give good, strong legs under this event so that each year we're not pulling as hard.
Yeah. Going back to our learning golf, I don't even know how to spell par, and we've been, involved. We love being involved with this event. So even if you don't know the first thing about golf,
Correct.
What I can tell you is that golf has always seemed very relaxing to me. So it's like, maybe I don't know a lot because it's always quiet out there and it's early morning, but
go.
it's like, it's come hang out, take a day off. And while you're doing help families and children.
I have got great people on the course. I've got great people that are helping out and great people as volunteers. Depending upon what you like and what your skill set is, there's room for everybody that we need on site. And the number one thing is that you love kids. One of the biggest things that has helped our event is not only on our board do we have members who have children who are actively going to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Wow.
And we are, sending prayers. We are sending wishes. We are posting on Facebook to let you know that, hey, somebody's having a procedure this week. We all need to send good thoughts. We all need to pray. Mm-hmm. We all need to do this and show the family support. We have an amazing young lady, Caroline Brewer, who is, she's in 3rd grade this year. I think she started. And the child has been through multiple brain surgeries with tumors, and she is still going well. So if you are on Facebook, if you will go in and follow Caring for Caroline, She has meant the world. She has been our little speaker at the Call to Carts in the morning for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And
I
it is
remember her
just,
story.
it's amazing when you pick up the phone, talk to her mom, and her mom says, "What date is it?" "Of course we'll be back." Because they recognize what we're doing. And Golf for the Kids is a single person LLC. That LLC has already been willed in my estate to Mark McKenzie and the advisory board, and the price has already been established at $1. Golf for the Kids will go on beyond me, I'm very certain. And we capitalized that. We set up a bank account and capitalized it with $500. So every single dollar that goes in to this goes into Golf for the Kids, right? We pay the expense, and God bless you if you come across this, because we are cheap. We ask for everything for free, right? We want everyone donating everything we can. We pay the expenses that we have to, and then every dollar that goes out back down to $500 goes directly to the check to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. There is no one involved in this event that is profiting from what we do. So there is no monetary profit going on from this. It is a complete wash through. It was pretty amazing as we started the year 2020 with the pandemic. And we didn't know if we were even going to be able to have an event. They were all being canceled. And our event ended up being one of the few events happening because of being late in the year. We changed everything up. We followed all kinds of protocols. We had no awards luncheon because we were in the parking lot. We did the whole event. 2019, we wrote a check for $49,000, which we thought was amazing. 2020, we got out there. Caroline spoke. There was not a dry eye in the house. And all the golfers headed off onto the field. And as throughout the day, one of our amazing sponsors is Kevin Draw of Atkins Park Tavern. He comes and brings his infamous Bloody Marys, and infamous is right. I think we raised like $600 in Bloody Marys at $5 a pop. The golfers were out. They couldn't believe they were outside and engaged again. And I can't believe that they drank that much consecutively. At the end of the event, I was counting golfers as they come off the field, making sure we had everybody. And as I sent the guys back out to pick up all the tee signs, I was like, look, we might be missing people out there. Just watch for our guys. We wrote an amazing check for $60,000.
Wow.
That is 60, not 16.
Wow.
And we did not know if we could even cover our cost that year. But people are so generous. We worked incredibly hard in 2021. And I did something, I think it was great, but it has stressed me out immensely, is that the next year we wrote a check for $70,000.
Wow.
So watch on social media, watch on Giving Tuesday, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Our group always gets together at one of the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta locations, and we present the big check and give the small check to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. So last year we wrote a check for $70,000.
Wow.
And so I am in the heat of it, and we are looking for additional sponsorships. We are looking for donors, and we are looking for prizes for this event. And our back is against the wall, and we are working hard, and we would like to eclipse $70,000 this year for Golf for the Kids.
Well, and I just want to highlight what goes into this event, right? Because, I mean, as sponsors or players, we show up and we have a great time.
Correct.
And we feel good at the end of the day. We know we're making a difference. But,
Certainly
I mean,
are.
if you look at everything that goes into this event, 16 years of work, and then the planning and reaching out, and then again you have things coming at you that you can't control, like the pandemic, and if
Correct.
you course and dates and getting things scheduled.
We even had one year it rained out.
Oh no!
That was year
But
11.
only one. Has it only been one though?
1 year.
Wow.
And we have been blessed with
That's
beautiful
awesome,
weather
though.
most
Yes.
days. But we've only had one event. The stress and strife of having a rain out was incredible.
Oh, I bet. I'm glad it's only happened once.
But just,
wow.
like the week before, everybody please, send prayers, think about me. Because the week before I start, I have to measure out and not look at the weather app, but a couple times a day. But
so we mentioned dogs at the beginning
Correct.
of the show and helping children. So where does that 70,000 and this year 80,000 go?
The first 15,000 we raise goes to the Canine Assistance Program at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. The other thing that you will get to see if you attend our event in the morning and typically in the afternoon, we get the CHOA handlers to come and bring one or more of the service animals that are there. Last year, Kara was there with Bella. Our first dog that we got to help put into the rounds is Olaf. So if you're at Children's Healthcare and you see Olaf, just know that Mark and I think about this guy every day. Maintaining and adding these animals is an incredibly expensive project. And
Because they go through special training. There's special training to aid these children. And,
born into this.
Yeah.
They go through special training from the time they are actually born. Their first days of their lives are to be all the stuff and to develop all the skills they need as service animals. And the dogs are amazingly well trained. They're amazingly kept. And the handlers have a lifetime commitment to the dog. So the people that work at CHOA that are the handlers, they have their own full-time job, and they have helping the dog do their job. So these people are so committed and so caring. And on top of all that, they show up at my events, right? They show up at my events, and they come bring the animals, let you pet them, have them there, and I've got to tell you, it's a big comfort for me just to have them around. But doing that, Mark and I both have our own businesses. We both work full-time plus time doing what we do. We cannot be at Children's Healthcare 365 days a year. But through this program, we're putting animals on the ground that are giving care and comfort to children who are going through more than what any adult could imagine in their fight against cancer.
Yes.
A lot of these children, if you don't know it, I probably will show up again this year with a box of beads. And everyone says, what's that box of beads about? I said, these are beads of courage. And if you'll look at our marketing collateral, look on LinkedIn, watch Facebook, you'll see some of the pictures. And these children have got lanyards of beads and beads and beads. Each one of those beads is they got stuck, they had a surgery, they had a procedure.
Oh, wow.
They had a spinal tap. They had a this, they had a that. And can I promise you, little children this big will sit down and can go through bead after bead
and tell you
what was going on.
Wow.
Whitney, what is happening in the lives of these children and the lives of their family is amazing. And what we're doing is providing the funding so that these children can get well and lead better lives.
Wow.
Our own board members have children that are currently undergoing ongoing treatment at CHOA. It's not like they're sick and they're just going to get well, but these children are having ongoing treatments and what they're doing and being in support of them and providing a service dog that will come visit them. Because some of the kids, really, you don't want to get out of bed. They need you to get up and walk, and you don't want to go. You just don't feel like it, right? But you know what? Flip is at the library. Flip is an awesome golden retriever. But if you'll get up and go, guess what? Flip will be there to see you. Excuse me. And that gets the kids up and going and moving. Last year, if you watch our marketing collateral, which I may give you guys to add to this.
Absolutely.
Ava Haynes, the daughter of one of my advisory board members, has Turner syndrome. And so she has to go to CHOA a lot. She'll actually be having a procedure this week. I was on the phone the other night with her dad. She will be having a procedure this week. Ava didn't want anything to do with anybody when she got there because it was a CHOA and she thought she was going to have to get another shot. She didn't want to have anything. Guess what? They showed up. Kara showed up with Bella, the service dog, and Ava came off her dad's shoulder. She was on the floor. She was playing with the dog.
Wow.
And we've got some adorable pictures to utilize. And I'm very blessed that the Haynes family allows us to utilize their story to tell you what's going on. But watching the change in that sweet child because we have a service dog available and knowing that we're supporting having service dogs at each of the facilities means the world to both Mark and I.
Wow.
Because just in the days, just like your days, some days you wake up and you think, good God, I can't get through this. Got too much to do. I've got, too many miles to cover, but I'm going to have to do it. You think about it. And what you realize, though, is that what we're doing, you think about Olaf, and you think about Bella, and you think about Flip, and you think about the animals that we're supporting that help the kids at Children's Healthcare. And you know what? My day is nothing compared to a child that wears lanyards and lanyards of beads.
For procedures and
Correct.
things that they've had done to their little
Think
bodies.
about what they have to have today.
Mm-hmm.
And ours is really not, it's not so big.
Mm-hmm.
But Golf for the Kids, it not only pulls me through year to year, it pulls a lot of people through on the advisory board. And it pulls together our sponsors who recognize and know that they're doing something great. It pulls together our volunteers, knowing that they're going to be out there on the course for a day, delivering lunches, shaking hands, setting up, breaking down, doing all the stuff that we do the day of, which we cannot do without them. I've got people that it's already set up. This is their standing day. Our event is October 24th, and we're always the Monday before Georgia, Florida, because here in the South, you have to adhere to the SEC guides,
This
right?
is true.
So it's my most likely time to have a bye weekend is the weekend before Georgia, Florida. So we're always the Monday before Georgia, Florida. And this year it's October 24th. Next year it will be October 23rd. So it's easy to remember, October 23, 2023.
Very nice.
So.
And if someone is hearing this and they want to donate, they want to get involved, how do they do that?
It's super easy. Number one is I'm very easy to reach. Our email address that will come straight to me is joinus, JOINUS, at golfforthekids.com. And it's just GOLFFORTHEKIDS.com.
Perfect.
But they can email, it'll come straight to me, and I will be happy to share with you how to sponsor, how to become a player, how to be a volunteer.
That's beautiful. Thank you for joining me and sharing. I mean, there were some things that I learned that even throughout the years in our conversations, I mean, there's just new things that I learned, and you don't think about it, that way that that just a dog can get a child out of bed and moving if they don't want to.
Exactly. Well, our platinum sponsor is Mellow Mushroom. And Mellow Mushroom has been in support of this since year 3 and has been a very consistent reporter. As a platinum sponsor, they give us a large check. They bring 3 foursomes. They support us throughout the year. They have been an amazing sponsor. And we do everything we can to keep them well in touch with Children's Healthcare. And they have done really, really great by us.
Beautiful. Well, I love it. Thank you so much, Angie. You and Mark and the whole team are doing a great thing.
And trust me, Mark and I, over the years, Mark and I are a small part of this. When you look at what it takes to create an event this size,
yes,
Mark and I do this much. The rest is out there. And without an amazing team, this would not happen. We have got great people on the board. I have got amazing sponsors. We have got amazing volunteers. And you cannot believe the people that step up all throughout saying, I can do so-and-so. How about I do this?
Yeah.
And it is just so cool that all kinds of great people are showing their love for children, their support for the service animals through our event.
I love it. Thank you for joining me, Angie.
Thank you. And thank you for doing this.
No, of course.
There are other great
Of course,
people
a pleasure.
there's great people like Whitney and Isaac who step up and say, hey, can we do this for you? I wouldn't have even thought to ask. So thank you guys
No,
so
of course,
much.
Our pleasure. We're excited to be there. And you should step up and step out on October 24th this year, 2022. Go to golfforthekids.com. Get all the information.